was thinking about doing like a Jimmy style video, you know, grab the microphone, walk around, have the green screen so you can see everything. And then I looked at the old budget, and I think I may have invested it poorly. Project Zanaris, something I have begged Jagex to add to the game for years, but now I'm a little bit worried it might be the final nail in the coffin. For those of you not in the loop, Project Zanaris lets you create your own community server. Want a game mode where every NPC drops random loot? You've got it. Or how about crafting your own quests, custom drops, or even new bosses? I could go on, the possibilities are literally endless. That's just some very basic ideas compared to what is actually going to be made. So why am I so worried about something that I really want in the game? As soon as Jagex announced Project Zanaris, I fired up a live stream expecting everyone to be like mad excited, coming up with cool ideas about customization, but they kept echoing the same concern. What happens to the main game? Picture this, it's day one of Project Zanaris, a server pops up that's a mirror of the main game, but with a twist. All quests are unlocked, your character is maxed, but your bank, absolutely empty. It's the perfect mix of no tedious grinds like rune crafting, but the grinds of trying to get drops from bosses so you can build your bank up. And that's an idea that can be whipped up with minimal development time. But I'm massively underselling it. There's not just going to be one server on day one. There's going to be tens, if not hundreds, of different servers with unique ideas, instantly meaning there's going to be thousands of hours of content for everyone to jump into. You could either be doing agility in the main game or playing some mad custom server that someone's created. It's tough to see a world where the main game does well, at least in the first week or two of the community servers coming out. And that's just day one. Think about day 365, when people have had a whole year to mess about with it. And also Jagex promising that the engine will get even better. So things like if you have coding experience, you'll be able to customize your server even more. But even people without the experience will get more drop downs, more sliders, just ways of reinventing your server or your ideas over and over again. It starts to make you worry about the main game a little bit. A massive thank you to Hero Wars for sponsoring today's video. The Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles have landed in Hero Wars, and it's time to dive into some battles alongside the Turtles. It's an awesome collaboration between Nexters and Paramount Pictures you don't want to miss. From the 2nd of December to the 21st, you can add the Turtles to your squad for free. You'll also be able to get Shredder and Casey Jones in the limited time promotion. And once the event ends, you'll never be able to grab them again. With a silly amount of characters, items, and abilities, you'll have to construct your own strategy to beat each new challenge that comes your way. You can either do this in real time or use the auto feature to let your strategy play out how you chose. So jump into Hero Wars and experience the endless customization of your squad to beat every challenge that comes your way. And now with the Turtles, you might find that just a bit easier. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code to download the game for free. The next thing I saw in my chat was real world trading. How are Jagex going to stop someone from offering services in their server? For example, I could open a server and say only people who are members of my YouTube channel are able to access the server. As you can see, when you click my join button, you'd have to then spend money monthly to be a member of my channel. And then I could offer things like boosted drop rate or faster experience if you're a higher tier member of my YouTube channel. Obviously, it's not something I'd ever do, or am I planning to do. I do plan on making servers and I do plan on having fun with you guys, but I would never charge you for something like that. But you can imagine someone who has a private Discord server or a messaging app offering these sort of services to players. And that's going to be pretty tough to police. Now, don't get me wrong, there's loads of issues with Project Zanaris we could get into. Those are my two main concerns, and when I thought up this video in my head, it was going to be a positive video, and I still want it to be because I am 100% behind Project Zanaris, and I think it can be one of the biggest things to ever happen to RuneScape. Both RS3, old school RuneScape, any type of RuneScape, I think this could be the biggest thing to ever happen. So I've got some counterpoints to the first two problems, and then a load of things that I think are going to be really great and make RuneScape have its highest ever player count. First of all, Jagex are promising that anything you do on the custom servers won't affect the main game. You won't be able to trade items over, you won't get cosmetics for playing anything. Nothing affects the main game, which is obviously what needed to happen. So for anyone worried about the custom servers messing up the main game, they're essentially two different games. It's going to be very similar to how RS3 and OSRS live in the same sphere, but don't interact at all. Except for a couple of things I saw in the Project Zanaris mega thread. Mod Blossom put out like loads of questions and answers for Project Zanaris. I'll leave a link in the description so you can read all of them. But the two I want to pick out here are, there's going to be some sort of like main game progress importing. So if you want to start a new server, you'll be able to like import your main over, I guess, with all its items, quests, pets, things like that. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work, but you can have a little read of that. And then they also mentioned that there is a possibility that if there's some cool quests or areas or drops or whatever you guys come up with, that it may end up getting polled for the main game if it fits the bill. So there's a couple of things that I guess might come from the main game, go over to the community servers, and vice versa. We'll see. Another clever idea from Jagex is that any new content that comes into the main game will be delayed into community servers. So if a new minigame or boss or area comes out, community servers won't have access to that on release. So imagine you're watching your favorite streamer tackle something that's only available in the main game. It's a really clever way to pull people back into the main game, and I believe that's all they need to do to keep the main game alive. And it's actually one of the smartest parts of the whole Project Zanaris idea. And I'll explain why in just a second, but bottom line, it's a win-win for both us, the players, and Jagex. I mean, maybe 60-40 in favor of Jagex, but it's good either way. So why is it so smart? For the main game to thrive, Jagex will have to consistently put out interesting and good content to keep people coming back to the main game. And after getting their fill of playing the new minigame or the boss or whatever the new thing is in the main game, the player might go, I might as well AFK some fishing because that quest that comes out next week is going to need 85 fishing, and so on. With all of the skills, you could apply that. So good for the player because Jagex will have to come up with very good content to keep us coming back to the main game. But it's also very good for Jagex because if we are playing the main game and want to play custom servers at the same time, you're going to need 2 accounts, which means that they'll be effectively doubling their revenue from players who want to do that. I do hope there'll be some sort of system or maybe even a discount for players who want to do that, because it seems a bit unfair that you can't play both at the same time. We'll see what Jagex come in with that, but I'm sure they'll be happy to be doubling their player count and doubling the revenue possibly. So then on to new/old/returning players. For me, I wish more of my IRL friends played OSRS. A few of them watch me and a lot of them go, oh, what you did last night looked really fun. And I don't know, maybe I was streaming some TOB and they saw me get a drop and that looked like a lot of fun to them. And that seems really fun to a viewer. And a lot of the time they say, oh, I'm going to play like tomorrow, I'm going to give it a go. And in my head, I'm just like, you're just not going to get that experience, you know. Those people are going to jump on, expect that sort of adrenaline rush to gameplay, and then you're met by a wall of hundreds, if not thousands of hours of grinding before you're going to be able to do anything along those lines, especially as a new player. The current model just doesn't work for new players who aren't fueled by nostalgia. But with Project Zanaris, Dave, who has 11 hours of playtime and thinks the Inferno looks easy, will be able to jump on and prove his skills and see if he can beat the Inferno with very little game knowledge. Pete watched me do Theatre of Blood and thought that looked really fun. Well, now he can jump on and just jump straight into some Theatre of Blood if he wants to. The game just doesn't cater for new players at the moment, and this gives them a place to go and try new things out. And the scenarios I gave there, they could be multiplied thousands of times by all sorts of different scenarios that your friends have or just people who want to play RuneScape. The custom servers will let them do that. And then last and least, I don't know, the private server players. They've been having community servers for years, enjoying SpongeBob with an AK, shooting Yoshi, and all sorts of, you know, crazy stuff that's going on there. Now, obviously, things like that probably aren't going to come into the community servers in RuneScape, but there is probably going to be a lot of private server players who jump on over to the official custom servers where they don't have to worry about viruses or disgusting pay-to-win mechanics that make, like, EA look innocent. And yeah, I'm talking about Ultimate Team. As you can tell, I'm insanely passionate about Project Zanaris, and if you've ever come into one of my live streams, you probably hear me rant about it for at least half an hour every time I go live. It's something that I just think is so important to the game, and I'd love to get a conversation going with you guys in the comment section. So if you've got any worries, anything that you think I got wrong, anything that could be amazing I haven't even thought about, please do chuck it down in the comment section. I will make sure to reply to everyone. I appreciate you guys watching. I've never really done a video of this style before, so please do let me know what I can improve, and if you enjoyed it and all that good stuff. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Don't forget to download Hero Wars by clicking the link in the description or scanning the QR code.